business people, this information that I'm highlighting here, it's an extract from the communication between different people that are subject to the investigation by the GCI Ops. And some of these communications are coming from cell phones of the people that are already arrested. And some of them are coming from the people that, where the team is conducting cordon searches and the likes, and they extract this information. And in some instances, they will probably get information from an approved download in terms of Section 205 of the criminal procedure to authorize the downloading or of the information from different service providers. So this will, of course, then be a direct communication between people, and in some instances, communication from the third party that is going to be presented. There is a gentleman, according to the records that we have, that the team will come and display further, that is a businessman in Northwest, Mr. Suleiman Kareem. Mr. Suleiman Kareem, as a businessman in Northwest, maintains a direct communication with the arrested person, Vusimuzi Matlala. And in their communication, it involves the contract that Matlala has with the police service, which was a 360 million rand contract I spoke about during the press briefing. And in these two of them are having, Matlala is approaching him to help him engage with the minister in order to stop the cancellation of his contract. And this Mr. Suleiman Kareem, of course, commits to do that because he has this relationship with the minister. And as I say, I don't want to dive deeper into the other conversations or activities that are taking place in that communication between the two. However, the intention here to display is to show that there is this gentleman that is part of the movement of money and the coordinator between Mr. Matlala and the minister, and is part of the investigation. That's why I'm not going to go deeper into explaining how the movement of funds and the likes are happening. But it's just to flag him as an enabler to facilitate the interest of the minister as well as the relationship with Matlala.
Okay.
On the following page 234, I'm just showing the extract.
Sorry, General, can I just ask for completeness of my understanding? And if you can't answer it for the reasons that you have given, please feel free to say that. Is Mr. Kareem in any way involved in the contract? Is he part to the contract between Matlala and the SAPS?
No, he's not.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. You wanted to move on to paragraph 234, not page 234, paragraph 234, General.
Yes, paragraph 234, this is a communication between Mr. Vusimuzi Matlala and his business partner, Mr. Mike van Wyk. I must say here that we are not necessarily blaming Mr. van Wyk of anything, but we are just displaying the level that Matlala has an interest of what's happening in the police, that he even communicates with his business partners. So the text that is extracted from Mr. Matlala's phone as he was communicating with Mr. van Wyk, it reads as follows: breaking news, NPA ID, Guns for National Police Rogue Unit. The NPA Investigative Directorate ID raids National Police Commissioner Fani Masimula and National Crime Intelligence Head, Lieutenant General Kumalo's office after serving them with notices of arrest. This comes after an investigation lodged by the Parliament Portfolio Committee. The National Police Commissioner, General Masimula, appeared weak and shaken when confronted by the ID. The ID had served him with arrest notice for 5 senior officers within Crime Intelligence Division, including its national head, General Khumalo. When serving the arrest notices, the National Commissioner asked the ID for indemnity from prosecution if he cooperates with them. An investigator states, the National Commissioner was very nervous and appeared to be shaking. He then blamed the collapse of crime intelligence at the hands of General Khumalo and KZN Provincial Commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi developing. So this is just part one of the extract. This is an article that was carried in media. Commissioners, you're going to understand later when you show you the picture that as part of the concerted effort to damage the reputation of this Gauteng counterintelligence investigation operation is to feed the media with false information so that they create doubt about the officials that are working within that investigation team. So they're a typical example of what Matlala sends to his associate. But to prove that his associate does not apprehend what is going on here, his response says, not good. A logic tells you that a story like this of the top management of the police being investigated, it can't be good. That is his expression, Mr. Van Wyk. But then the response from Matlala says, it's actually good, my person. It's actually good. My person is going to be a national commissioner now. So Van Wyk does not understand where is Matlala going with this. That's why he's an expression as an ordinary citizen to say, it can't be good that a national commission is painted like this. But Matlala says, no, actually this is a good thing because my person is going to be the national commissioner now. This is the picture, commissioners, that begins to emerge as we investigate. We know already that there is stories out there in the media that the national commission is going to be arrested by IDEC. They are mentioning IDEC here. That's why I'm demonstrating, as we're going to demonstrate further, that this very good entity that was established after the Zondo Commission, how it has been weaponized by the criminal syndicates that are operating within the police, in cahoot with those outside, and largely involve members of crime intelligence. But we'll demonstrate that later, commissioners.
Thank you, General Mkhwanazi. Commissioners.
Can I just confirm? I think MK19
Yes.
is the extract of what you have quoted in the body.
That's correct.
Of the statement. Is this extract what was published in the media, or this is Mr. Matlala himself just typing out?
It is an extract from the media that was published from the media that he copied and he posted on its WhatsApp chat.
Okay. Thank you.
And thank you,
Mr.
Commissioner Baloi, that I was going to address that annexure MK19 as well. And based on the testimony of General Mkhwanazi, we read it from the bottom up. The conversation starts at the bottom entry and ends the timestamps to the left. Well, that 326, Chair, page 326. It's marked as an annexure, Commissioner. The point we're making, Chair, is that conversation is what General Mkhwanazi just read out, and he's reproduced it at page 73. But if one had to go to that particular annexure, please read from the bottom and make your way up to the page. That's the order of the conversation. Thank you, General. I had requested that there are some other matters you deal with.
Perhaps before you move on,
Yes,
General, if you do have the information, I know you are relying on others on this, but if you are able to, can you please explain the proximity between the minister and Mr. Kareem, which would have caused Mr. Matlala to ask Mr. Kareem to intercede between him, Mr. Matlala, and the minister, so that the contract is not cancelled?
Commissioner, the information will come with an investigation team as they are doing the phone linkages, the communication between the two, and many other means that they'll be able to see how are they related, the two, and to what extent. But what we know from the extracts that I've seen is that there is a communication between himself and the minister. That's why Matlala approaches him to get to the minister, because he's aware that he has that close proximity to the minister, beside the one, Mkhwanazi, that we're going to talk about later.
Thank you, Chair. Yes, I was stepping off the topic, but we'll take a question.
No, you promised the witness that he can speak up to 239. There's 238 and 239.
It's a slightly different topic. We are stepping off from the correspondence between Mr. Van Wyk and Mr. Matlala. Then overleaf at page 74, you speak of yet another person. So that's the third person within the business sector. But as we did point out, General, we'll just deal with what's set out in paragraph 238 and 239. And the rest we will revisit tomorrow when we deal with Mr. Mkhwanazi.
Commissioners, I must first maybe also apologize the typo here on 238 in bracket. It's supposed to be Directorate for Priority Crime Investigation, not Crime Intelligence. My mistake on this one. There's been a lot that one was doing. That's why some of the mistake will have crept in. So as we preface that with DPCI as an acronym, it actually stands for Directorate for Priority Crime Investigation. And the acronym is supposed to read DPCI. So what we see here on the 11th of February 2025 is a conversation between Mr. Rafadi with Mr. Matlala regarding the publication of the advertisement of a post of DPCI. The national head of the Directorate for Priority Crime Investigation was to be going on retirement at the beginning of this financial year in May. And as such, the process of filling the post started. So the post was advertised in February with the intention of having gone through the interviews and find a candidate that is suitable that can be confirmed the appointment by Parliament before he takes over the position. In this conversation, when Mr. Rafadi sends Matlala this advert, Mr. Matlala responded to the advert, and his response was, and I quote, "They gave it to Gerald Spear already." So this was on advertisement. And the advertisement is sent by Mr. Rafadi to Matlala. And Matlala's response to Mr. Rafadi is that they gave it to Gerald Spear already. So this is, Commissioners, a communication that happens preceding even the panel coming together to sit and assess the applicants and conduct interviews and so forth. And this is what Matlala is saying. We know that the filling of the vacancies of DPCI head, it's a responsibility of the Minister of Police. So perhaps Mr. Matlala knew something we did not know. We know that the filling of the vacancy of, or the entity DPCI is an entity that is charged with the investigation of serious crime in our country, including organized crime, commercial crime, and so forth. So a person who's then charged with the responsibility of managing this entity, he must be beyond reproach. And for this name to be published by people who are currently in custody, it made us to realize the extent of the influence that these people who are investigating have over either the executive and the top structure of the South African Police Service. That's where we submit. I'm going to end this one there because the next one talks about Mr. Brown Mkhwanazi that we had said we're going to engage on it later.
Can I just,
Sorry, Advocacy Law.
Yeah, yes,
Do we
yes,
have an
Commissioner.
annexure that accompanies?
no, that doesn't have an
238?
annexure. That doesn't have an annexure.
So where do we get that date of 11 February 2025?
The witness will explain.
Commissioners, as I said, the information that is in my disposal, some of the information I was briefed and I got to see. This is but one of the communication or extraction that the team has made when they were conducting investigation, that when the team appears here before the commission, will be able to present before the commission so you can see as they annex on their statements. There are many things that I did not annex on my statement that are in the position of the team as they are carrying out the investigation on these matters. That's why I said earlier, while we are busy with the commission, the investigation continues. We might flag things here in the commission, but it doesn't stop the investigation. Yes, there was a frustration of the investigation, which still is there as we are having some of these members involved in undergoing court cases, but the members are still continuing with the investigation. So this information will be presented to the commission when the members arrive.
Well, I had two questions for on that score, General. You deal with this aspect under the heading business people. My question is, and because that part of your statement doesn't indicate who's Mr. Rafadi. You mention him here about him sending the published advertisement to Mr. Matlala, but you don't explain who Mr. Rafadi is.
Yeah, Commissioner, I did not want to put the full details of Mr. Rafadi avoiding litigations,
Okay.
but in camera, the details will be provided so that the commission get to know who the person is, but he is a business person.
Okay. I'm sure the commission will accept that. My second question is, do you know whether or not that advertised post was filled of the DPCI?
No, the post has not been filled to date. There's an acting head of DPCI. Although I am informed, and I don't want to disclose the source, but the panel did sit and they did go through the applications that were presented, and some people that were extracted from those that have applied, their files were moved to crime intelligence for crime intelligence to conduct vetting on them. And that is as far as I know, but the process has not been finalized because it will only be finalized when it gets to Parliament. What then happened after this advert is that post was withdrawn. And looks like they are starting a new process again to fill this vacancy.
Noted. Thank you. Thank you.
But I must maybe, I know it's not my position, perhaps not on the statement, just to indicate, I do not know the reasons for the withdrawal of the post. But it is my conclusion when I see the extract of Mr. Matlala that perhaps the person is talking about might not meet the requirement because DPCI's post to be filled, you must be able to serve 7 years. So if you are not able to serve 7 years, you cannot be appointed into that position. I'm not saying that is a reason, but I'm reliably informed that that influence partly to why this post could not be filled.